Today we're going to talk about the importance of your body and why connecting with your body, listening to your body, learning how your body communicates with you is imperative, is so important if you want to live a healthy, happy, productive life. So it's not just about your body being healthy, but it's like impacts everything, and we're going to go into more detail about that, and I hope you will gain something from it. We're going to cover a lot of content today, so I'm just going to get on with it, and I will sort of check comments and stuff in a little while. So we are just going to get started. I'm really happy if you joined me, and welcome. So why do you need to pay attention to your body? Okay, so one of the things that we don't always appreciate is that your body is the only way to know what's true for you is to know what's happening within your body. Like we have so many thoughts, we have emotions, we have physical sensations, there's different levels of experiential stuff going on. So what are you actually which aspects do you pay attention to? So we spoke about why paying attention to emotions is important, simply because they're easier to access sometimes. But what's even easier to access is what's going on within your body. But we've been so programmed, conditioned to override what's happening within our bodies. We're told to just get on with it and just to ignore whatever's happening, just suck it up. So what I'm going to say to you is that's not always the best way. And your body has a wisdom of its own, which is very different from the wisdom in your mind and your emotional wisdom. The body has like a lot of like real deep knowledge, real deep understanding. It's a different kind of intelligence. And we're going to actually do a meditation at the end that will give you some kind of an experience of what that is, and how to use that in your life. Okay, so I'm just going to see if everything is going okay here before I just want to check if that audio and everything is working okay. So please just leave me a comment just to let me know everything is that you're able to hear me okay, and you're able to see me okay. So you need to be connected to your body, because that is the only way to know what's true for you. Because like when we're trying to process things through thoughts, through emotions, sometimes we get sort of caught up in so much of trying to analyze, is this true for me? Is that true for me? What shall I do? So you don't always know what the best choice is. For thoughts, it's even less, but emotions, it can give you a little bit more of an understanding which way to go. And the body is a deeper layer of knowing what's true for you. So it's like if you manage to learn and connect with your body, it's you're living authentically. You're living in a way that works for you. You're living in a way that is going to help you achieve what you want in life. Okay, so let's see what's coming up. So yes, that's the other thing. We've been told to neglect and ignore the body. I don't know, I was told to just, my mind was considered a lot more important, and I did that for the first maybe 25 odd years of my life. I was very much focused on achieving through my mind. My body didn't really get a look in, and luckily I was young, so when I neglected myself, it hasn't, it doesn't have as much of an impact as it would do now. So but whatever's going on, even in your mind, in your thoughts and in your emotions, or whatever's happening externally in your world, there's no way of experiencing any of that without your body. Your thoughts are experienced in your body. Okay, they happen in your mind. It's like in the higher part. Emotions are more sort of lower in the body. you might feel more in your chest or your belly area, and then lower than that is more, turns more into like the physical sensations. You can feel what's happening in your legs or in your hips, like shakiness, or are you feeling strong or are you feeling weak? So all of your experiences, whether they are real or imagined, are experienced within your body. So your imagination and your thoughts, your emotions, the sensations, the physical manifestations in your life, they're all experienced via your body. So it's very important to be able to honor the body, to listen to what it's actually saying to you and what it's trying to communicate with you. Okay, so this is something, it took me a while to realize this, but we talk about how do I access my subconscious. That's been like such a big thing in the, like stuff is going on in the subconscious and it's not real, or is it real, and how do I access? But what I've learned in number of years, over 10 years of working one-to-one with people and working in groups, and also my own study and experiences, is that your body actually is the subconscious. If you want to know what's happening subconsciously, pay attention to what's happening in your body. Don't override it. Listen to it. Your body is telling you what's going on. So it remembers. There's a really good book called The Body Remembers. And if anybody's interested, leave me a comment below and I will put a link to it. And in that it says that whatever the mind has forgotten, the body still remembers. Okay, so the body knows what's going on, even though you might not, certain like unexplained emotions or certain reactions that you think, why do I feel like this? A lot of phobias form part of that. The body remembers. It's triggered by situations that remind you of past experiences or past situations where you felt unsafe or vulnerable. So the mind might have blocked these things out, and that we will look at that, because how your memory is stored and how trauma memory is stored differently than your regular memory. Okay, so we can have a quick little look at that as well. Okay. Okay, so the emotions you don't process remain locked in the body mind, and that is so true, because one of the things I went on to do after I decided no longer to be a scientist was to train as a physical therapist, because I realized that working with the body was a much more effective way of finding out, of connecting with deep buried experiences than talking about them, or therapeutically talking about them, or feeling your emotions. When you work with the body, you can really get into that sort of the visceral experience of what, and that happened. It actually happened with myself, and it happened with a lot of my clients, was that you would be transported back to that time. So it was just very deep, profound and healing work to be able to do that. And often I worked in conjunction with therapists, because I just felt that I didn't want to be the talking aspect of it. I wanted to be more involved with the experiential aspect of it. So whatever my client experienced, they would be able to go and process that with their therapist. But it is a very powerful way. Your body knows so much, and also because they know so much, that might be one of the reasons why you neglect it, because you are not wanting, or your mind is protecting you and it's not wanting you to experience certain things or to know certain things. But the body's always responding, it's always giving you clues as to, this feels safe, this doesn't feel safe, this feels good, this doesn't feel good. But it's like, because we learn to override so many of these things, these experiences, that we don't always pay attention. But once you do start to pay attention, your life becomes a lot more fluid. It's like being in the flow. It's more like a dance. It's difficult to explain, but it's more like a dance. It's like everything becomes a lot more synchronistic, because your body, it's we think that the thoughts are more important than physical sensations, but the brain only receives information via the body. So the body has access to any stimuli, any information way before the brain, and then the nerves and your visual cortex or your ears transfer that information to the brain, and it processes it. But the body's sensory systems can sense, can have access before your mind. I know there's been research on it, and I don't actually have anything to share here, but it is true. And if somebody wants to, I can obviously look up something. Okay, so we mentioned this a little while ago. Trauma memory is stored differently than normal memory. Okay, so again, I don't want to get into the details and the scientific ways of how this happens, but it's your memory is recorded almost like in a like an old-fashioned cassette tape. It's sequential, one thing follows another, and it's like a tape. But whenever there's extreme trauma or something that is unexpected, it could even be something really good. It's like all the systems, the normal systems, shut down, and they get shut down, or they get overridden by the survival mechanism. So that memory that forms as a result of any kind of trauma is stored in a different place on the hard drive of your memory. So it doesn't always form part of your narrative of who you are, of what's happening in your life. So, but it's always there to protect you. So if there is something similar, it will send signals to your body and to your mind. And that's why sometimes phobias can happen, or irrational reactions to people and situations and locations, because that part of your memory that is not part of your conscious awareness is being activated. Okay, so I mean, in the future we could look more into this, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. And it is sort of stored within the body, because again, in that book, The Body Remembers, people have very specific locations where things are stored in the body. It's like whatever the mind doesn't want to deal with, it's like mind is, I don't know if this is physically true, but the mind is sort of aware of the conscious stuff, but anything that we don't want to deal with gets pushed down into the body, so it's stored, and the older stuff, the further this is so funny as well, but it's so true. It's like, sometimes we fill closets with things and we don't clear stuff out, so things get pushed to the back. So further down the body you go, the more it would be like older stuff, childhood stuff is further down in the body, and then more recent and more recent. But obviously it doesn't always work like that, but that's like a big generalization of what might be happening. Okay, so let's look at this one. Yes. So your body's always trying to heal itself. It's always trying to get back into balance. It knows what it needs to feel good. It knows what it needs to get it to be healthy, to feel okay. For example, if you get a cut on your finger, you can clean it, you can bandage it, but it's the body that's healing it. It's the body knows what it needs to start rebuilding itself. So the body's always repairing itself. It's always healing itself. But what happens is, sometimes we don't allow it. Sometimes maybe it might need to rest to heal, or to rejuvenate, or it might need certain kinds of foods. It might need a break. It might need to go away and to be away from a certain situation. But because we sort of override all of these things, the poor body sort of is being made to go to places and do things it doesn't want. So it doesn't always get the chance to reach that state of homeostasis. But it knows how to do that. So once you start to listen to it, once you start to pay attention to it, it will start it will start to heal itself. It will tell you what it needs and when it needs it. But it's like, are you going to make a commitment to listen to it, to do what it's actually asking you to do? So that's up to you, but it has a great amount of wisdom. Okay, your thoughts and conditioning can interfere with this healing process. And that, again, one is that we override it, and a lot of times we're not even aware of what the body's trying to tell us because we've got so used to not listening to it. And secondly, is the conditioning we've had. We are told what is right, how you should feel, how you shouldn't feel, and we internalize a lot of things that we've been taught over the years, especially things that you learn as a young person. Before the age of 7, they just form such a core part of your personality. So there's a judgment about yourself. You might have a judgment, I shouldn't feel this. I should be able to do this, or I should be able to get over things. So because of having that judgment, you're not allowing your body to heal. You're not allowing your body to process. You're not allowing your body to recover its balance, its homeostasis. So again, it's all of these things. First stage is having the awareness, and second stage is starting to make changes. So hopefully this presentation is going to give you more awareness of what is going on within you and why. Okay, so most chronic illnesses are unprocessed emotions and trauma. Yes. So like what I just mentioned before, unprocessed emotions. Every time you have an emotion or you have a thought, a chemical reaction is taking place within your body. So when these things are, and then it's almost like things have to sort of go through a cycle to resolve and to be neutralized. But when we have judgment, when we don't allow that process to complete itself, those incomplete experiences are sort of imprinted on your cellular matrix or on your physical or energetic matrix, and these stay with you in your body until you allow them to be processed. So they are almost like they almost cause physical or energetic blockages, and we start to avoid those areas when there is something. I almost sort of sometimes see them. Imagine that you have clear flowing energy through you, or like I almost sometimes see them as pebbles in a stream. So the water, the energy sort of flows around it, and those areas don't always get the nourishment, the energy to heal and to resolve. Okay, so I'm just, if you are here listening, please give me a like, let me know how if this is resonating with you, and okay, so I will carry on. Okay, next one. I'm just going to see, I can't actually read this slide. Okay, so how well do you treat your body? And do you know how your body communicates with you? Do you know, do you listen to your body? So your body's always trying to talk to you. It's difficult to explain the energy of the body, and I'm hoping you will get like an experience of it in the meditation we're going to do. But it's like a wise elder, but also innocent like a child. And if a child is neglected, they sort of, they sort of, okay, they withdraw into themselves and they don't keep pushing. So that's what happens with the body. So it's sort of, its voice gets less and less. If it's listened to, it becomes more communicative. But because if it's used to being neglected, it's sort of, the voice is very small. So initially you have to work hard at listening to it, paying attention to it, and getting it to trust you again. And then it will become easier. It will become a lot easier once it knows that it's being heard. It's like you have to win his trust. Okay, so that is something that we can look more into in future presentations. Okay, so now we are going to, okay, this is the meditation. So we're going to do this meditation. And a lot of people have a great deal of resistance to this meditation because they are, because it's using gender stereotypes, and especially women who are enlightened, strong women, they might resist this meditation. But I would really urge you to give it a go, because it will be very revealing. It will show you things that you might not actually realize that you're doing to yourself. Okay, so if you're able, please make yourself comfortable, and if you can, close your eyes. Okay, just take a deep breath and close your eyes. Just relax and sort of breathe deeply into your belly, and then breathe out. Again, breathe into your belly and breathe out. So the focus is on breathing out. You just want to empty out your belly and then allow it to fill up with air. Okay, and don't worry about I am actually preparing a PDF for you to make notes, but I haven't done that yet. But I will ask you to leave a comment, and I'll get that to you after this this is over. Okay, so just notice your body wherever it is. If you're sitting down or lying down, wherever it is, just become aware of your body, your physical self, and just become aware of how it's being supported. Is it being supported by the bed or the chair or wherever you are? Just notice the weight of you, the heaviness of you, and just notice it being supported by your chair, or if you're lying down, by your bed or your sofa, wherever you are, or even the floor. So breathing and relaxing. So I want you to become aware of, I'm just going to offer you this analogy. You know, we mentioned that the energy of the body is different than the energy of the mind or the emotions. So I just want you to have an experience of how different it is. So the analogy is that you imagine that your mind is male, and it is true, because the mind is more of an active, moving, fast moving kind of energy. So the mind is male, and if your body is female, and the body, in some ways it is a female energy, because the body is sort of more receptive and open, and the mind is sort of more like doing things, always busy. So that is, there is a sort of, so the body is female, your body is a woman, and your mind is a man. Okay, so just imagine your body is a woman and your mind is a man, and the body and the mind, this man and this woman, are in a relationship. Maybe they're married. I'm going to just be very traditional, and I'm going to use this analogy because it will bring up the most reactions in you, I think. So they are a married couple. The mind is a man and the body is the woman in this relationship. And this is, so I just want you to, in your mind's eye, see if you can see this couple. You can see this man and this woman, and just notice what they're like, what kind of energy they both have, what kind of relationship they seem to have. And just pay attention to what he's like, this man in the relationship. What is he like? What kind of energy does he have? What kind of person is he? And how does he feel? How does he relate to the woman, to this woman? That is the body. How does he relate to her? How does he treat her? And now, notice the woman in the relationship. The woman that is your body. What is she like? How does she look? What's her energy like? And how does she feel in this relationship? Does she feel heard? Does she feel valued? Just what are some of the words that come to mind when you think how she feels about this relationship, how she's treated in this relationship? And just notice, if you were to see this couple out and about, what would you think? How would you, if you saw that couple, what kind of relationship do you think they would have? They're having. Are they a couple that you'd want to know, be friends with? Or are they a couple that you might want to avoid? And just notice how your body's feeling as we're doing this meditation. And if she could say anything, to you, a bystander who's watching this couple, what would she say? What does she need? What would she say? And what would you say to her? Is there anything you can do to help her? To assist her if she needs any help or assistance? Because we're not focusing on the mind today. We will look at the mind another time, but today we're just focusing on the body. If she needs any help to feel better in her life, in this relationship she has, is there anything you could do to help her? And maybe I would recommend you go through this meditation again with the PDF when I prepared it for you, and maybe just write down a few things that she wants or that you're able to offer for her, and then pick one that you can do easily today. Something small and easy. Might just be like, making a commitment to listen to her or to do this meditation again. So I just wanted you to have a taste of the different energies of the body and the mind. And also get a sense of how your mind might be treating your body, because when we ask ourselves, am I treating myself well? The mind will often answer. It will say, yeah, everything's fine, I'm doing well. And the body responds differently. She's a little bit slower. She's a little bit more thoughtful. So you have to allow time for the answers to come. You have to be patient and listen for the answers. So when you re-listen to this meditation, maybe just pause it at different stages and wait for the response to come from the body, and the response sort of rises up out from the body. It's not a quick response from your mind, or it's not just from your emotions. It's a bodily response. And when you actually hear it, you notice there's a sense of the body response. There's a sense of ease. There's a sense of release that happens more or less the same time when you listen to this, to the response from your body, because it's been wanting to be heard. And oftentimes the only time we allow our body any rest is when we are when it sort of has had enough and is no longer able to contain everything, or no longer able to function, and it's just sort of either just stops, or it just needs a break, and we give it a break, and as soon as it feels better, off we go. We are running all the time. So I really want you to take the time to listen to your body, and just leave me a comment about how you would want, if you want me to record this meditation separately, or if you want me to do any kind of any questions or anything that you would have wanted to be included in this meditation. And also I'm going to prepare a PDF, as I said. So what I would like you to do is, in the comments, write the word embody, EMBODY, if you would like a PDF. So I will, once I prepared it, I will get that to you. I'm going to try to get it sent to your Facebook Messenger. If that doesn't work, I will actually contact you personally and make sure that you have that that PDF. Okay. But this meditation doesn't always work the first time, because it's an unusual concept. So listen to it a few times, and maybe pause, just trying to get a sense of the body, because the mind is always wanting to answer for the body. The mind is always active. It's like, me, I know. And the body is very quiet. She's like, oh, okay, here we go again. I didn't get heard. So just try it. I would love to know if you got what response, what you've discovered from it, if anything. And yeah, I'm really, really pleased if you give it. So yes, what one commitment? If you can, write it down. If you can, leave me a comment. What will you do to love, honor, value, and respect your body? Just one commitment. It could even just be giving yourself a break when you're tired, or catching up on your sleep, or making sure you're hydrated, or journaling, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be anything big. Just one thing that you will do today to I've just had a message saying that the volume is too low. Okay, so I will probably try to record that as a separate meditation. So yeah, apologies. I should stay nearer to the microphone. I didn't realize the volume was so low. Okay, so we are pretty much done for today. And inclusion. Okay, in conclusion, just please comment with the word embody, and if you are interested in the PDF for the meditation. And also, if I do decide to record it separately, if you leave that comment, I will get that recording to you as well, or send you a link for that recording. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, where we talked about why it's important to connect to your body, and just one little meditation to help you to connect with the energy, the different energy that is present within your body. So I would love to know what you thought about it. Please leave me comments, and I'm just Thank you for being here.